Okay, we're gonna go back and put this door back together. Once again, this is a 1988 560 SEC two-door. Where you going, my coffee? Put it down, please. Okay, so we're gonna put everything back together. Now, what I did also is I pulled the fuse number 6 from the fuse box, so that way I don't have this light burning power while I'm working on the door. Okay, so first off, we need to put the insulation. Came back on the door, and I've already sprayed this with contact cement, so that it's easier to stick back on, so that I'm not fiddling with it too much. Just place it back on where it goes, press it down, and it should be good to go. And the hard part is making sure that everybody's happy. Okay. Put it back in there. Okay. This is like the light switch. Alright, we now have part 1 back in place. Alright, we're going to try this as possible. Now, at the time of removing this mirror, you always have to be very aware that there's a little tiny clip that goes in there. If you lose that, this thing will not attach itself. So, I've always made sure that I capture that little device, because first time it drove me crazy looking all over for it, and it was on the floor right by my foot. All right, you got the door panel on. Second, we have 2 parts for the speaker. Okay. First, we have the plastic cage here that goes in under the door. So we're going to put the light inside the first section, put it down, lock that on place, and slide that in. Okay. Easy enough? Okay. Next one is we have, let me get the screws for that. We have the speaker itself, which basically make sure that's still there. Put that back in place. Now these little nuts here are a 6mm, yeah, and they're easy. So when you're taking it off, what I'm doing is a reverse process of what I did when I put this thing together, when I took it apart the first time. So get it started, get it on, and then after you do this, the rest of it's going to be pretty much downhill, and make sure everything is functioning right. You also cannot forget that you must reconnect all of your speaker wires. And you want to make sure this is nice and snug. Plenty more in there. Yeah, okay. You plug your wires back in for your speaker, and there's it only goes on one way, so you can't really mess it up. It's keyed, and there's a little clip right on the back speaker that holds that in place, just like that. All right, part 1. Now for the fun part. You'll find that sometimes working with the door panel, it's a little tricky. Okay. So I'm going to show you. Can you see this? Okay. This right here, once you pull the cap off, you can hold this part here to lock the door and hold the door in place. So basically, you have this part slides down. There's 2 little clips there. Here, let me show you what you got. Okay. On the back of the door, as you're coming off, you'll find these are downward size hooks. You got 1 over here, 3 on this side. Okay. So when you line those up, You're gonna put those on. And most of the problems is always up here with the lock. So you just get that lined up. And then slide this part up, push in and down. Get one on. I guess it's a little bit on the tricky side, but eventually you'll win. Don't let the door win. Nah, yeah. Take it off here. Put those on first. Bottom one first. Door latch lined up again. That one, bottom's on, top's not on. Okay, okay, that's on. That's, make sure that's nice and tight. That's on, that's on, okay. This side, same thing. Make sure that you have, actually, that side locked in. Close the glass. All right, that's good. Put it back in there right now. Okay. And this part, we're going to go ahead and put our little clip back in here. Okay. Which is this little tiny brass thing. What that does, it fits in this hole right here. Okay. So when you put this on here, that clips in and locks it into place. First plate.
Got it. Got it.
This one you'll find you have to use a special screwdriver to put this thing on because it doesn't allow you or afford you the room to use a regular size screwdriver. Okay, that's good. Now, make sure that we have a light switch inside. Let's pull this off this second. It's in the bottom of the door. So. Now, just the trim goes on. Stand up on this right here. Stand over here. It's in cap. It covers the lock assembly and the rest of the information. So you're gonna make sure you get those lined up. The next project we're gonna do on this is we're gonna pull the back seats and find out why the regulators for the seat belts are not functioning. Now the motors are turning, but the activators are not actually bringing the seat belts out to passengers of the vehicle. So my assumption is that there's a drive belt that has disconnected or, due to age, worn itself out. So once we find out what that is, we're going to do a step-by-step on how to assemble that. And then we get that repaired. Now I repaired the antenna a couple of times because there's a little gear that locks in between the two springs that says stop, go back the other way, which is apparently not functioning. So we have to take a look at that. Right now I'm going to put the speaker cover back on. Now the most important thing about these speakers, when you take them off, which most people don't do, they just start snatching at it.